like that. I can't forget.
That was louder than I was expecting. I'm out of here. Oh my God, sir, this is amazing. How long have you had this?
1 million years.
I'll take it.
What is this movie?
Dying's for fools. I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
Oh, no. No, I know what this is. I thought they canned this thing over a decade ago. Well, sit tight, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to have ourselves a food fight.
This ill-fated film was the brainchild of Larry Kasanoff. It came out in the year 2012, and it features an all-star cast, including Charlie Sheen, Wayne Brady, Hilary Duff, Eva Longoria, and even Christopher Lloyd. There's only one catch here. The film was supposed to come out in 2003. In late 2002, all the film's files were reportedly stolen in what was quoted an act of industrial espionage. An entire movie right down the drain.
At this point, some people would give up. They'd say, that's the breaking point. We tried, team. Good job. Round up next week. But not Larry Kasanoff. He was not one to accept defeat willingly.
The next 10 years of this film's production cycle are shrouded in mystery. But one thing is known. They spent all of it trying to bring this film back to life like some sort of proverbial Frankenstein's monster. Perhaps it was because it just meant so much to them, or perhaps it was because they believed in it with hearts and minds.
Or maybe it had something to do with them sinking $65 million into it. Ladies and gentlemen of planet Earth, you can't make this shit up. I introduce you to Foodfight, the worst animated film of all time.
This movie takes place in your average American supermarket, dubbed Marketropolis Market.
Oh, off to a good start already.
Just closing up. Nothing much happens around here after dark.
Now that is exactly what someone would say if something much does happen around here after dark. And much it does happen. After dark, the supermarket transforms into a city? I'm pretty sure that's what happens. You got a better answer? The first shot of this movie is just an unbroken, constant barrage of information. It's introducing all these characters, but none of them do or say anything significant. What's this? Who's this? Why is this happening? Oh, he's gone. Was that our main character? I guess he doesn't want to be here either. Maybe the main character is this terrifying dancing elephant, or this king frog, or maybe it's his farts, or maybe... Is that Mr. Clean? Did Mr. Clean just show up in my movie? Okay, let me get this straight. We are 2 minutes and 39 seconds into this movie. We haven't even seen the definitive main character yet, and Mr. Clean has already rolled up to the party, and they spent the joke about him getting dirty already. Shit. Come on.
Come on. Oh, goddamn. How do I turn this shit off? How do I turn this shit off? Sweet release. No!
So here we finally meet our main character, Dex Dogtective, voiced by Charlie Sheen.
Listen up, fat cat burglar. I'm giving you one last chance to hand him over before I cash in your coupons for you.
So good to hear that voice coming out of that dog.
It is you, the great Dex Detective, who's about to take a fall.
If I had a raisin for every time I've heard that one.
Honeybee, flower, mouse, cheese, dog,
Raisins? I don't see anything wrong with that.
Dex is a crime fighter, putting a roof on all the local acts of skullduggery and mischief. Here we see him working to thwart a catnapping.
It's just you and me, fat cat. Now fork over the little guys and no one gets hurt.
I'm gonna kill you.
Wow. We're just gonna go right there?
Is that so wrong?
My God, how do we even broach this? Son of a bitch is falling out of the sky like a goddamn sarcophagus. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. And he sticks the landing.
That's the only 10 this movie's getting.
No worries. You can do it. As long as you got me to help you. Did I mention me?
Here we meet Dex's best friend, Daredevil Dan, a chocolate squirrel whose main character traits are broken motion capture and making Wayne Brady seem like he's not an actor.
Relax, bro. We're talking about sunshine goodness. You could give her a crackerjack ring and she'd still say yes.
What did they film this movie on? Microsoft Connect?
Well, the food bank. This is
Am I dead yet?
Eventually, we're introduced to the fact that Dex is dating this furry chick over here, voiced by Hilary Duff, and he's about to ask her to marry him. I just want to point out that this magical melon ball exists on the top layer of this reality at all times. Well, that's some good sweatshop CGI there. Oh God, there's something so unsettling about her character. I feel like I have to try to avoid her line of sight to be comfortable. Although it doesn't seem like that's gonna be too hard. So here's a little something I had to figure out for myself about this movie.
That is essential to understanding the central concepts in this film.
It is never directly referred to at all, not even once. You see, the characters all refer to themselves as Ikes, because they are all, in their own words, icons of a brand of grocery store product, which I guess would explain Mr. Clean from earlier. I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence, who knows. From now on, I'm gonna go by Jat. I'm not gonna tell you why, just figure it out, dick. So, before Dex can pop the question, Sunshine B's a total bitch and walks off into the sunset, even though it's completely obvious that he's about to pop the question.
Don't worry. It ain't like it's the last time you're ever gonna see Sunshine again.
That's the last time we're seeing Sunshine, isn't it?
May I help you?
You must be Leonard.
You know, I'd make a comment here, but I'm genuinely worried he might actually have a disability. And then who looks like the bad guy? I mean, okay, this guy's still a little bit because he's a bad guy in the movie, but that mostly me. Mostly John.
No one wastes me chips and gets away with it. Brand X will pay. Arr.
So wait, the chips can also see and talk when we're in the supermarket reality? When does the city reality become the supermarket reality? Is there a divide here? When does it transition from them walking around to being a bag of chips on the shelf? Is this like Toy Story rules, or is this like the Fountain rules, where there's no rules?
Oh, God help us, I think this is Fountain Rules.
It's been 6 months since Sunshine's disappearance, and we find Dex moping in his office because he's an asshole and lost his girlfriend. Dan tries to cheer him up with some good old-fashioned practicality.
You got a club to run, and you can bet the Copa Banana's gonna be.
His mouth doesn't even sync up. They didn't even try there. What's he doing with his legs? Look at his legs! Why are they constantly moving around like that? It's like if FDR came back to life and tried to show everyone what legs do.
Why, of course I can provide you with a backstage pass to the Copa Banana.
Let him go, Cheezel.
Dex, what a pleasant surprise.
Is that a poop rat? Is that a poop rat? What? What is it? Am I threatening you? You threatening me? Who's a threat here?
You despise me, don't you?
Bad touch, stranger danger.
So, after a series of Orwellian horrors, we arrive at the Copa Banana, the talk of the town club that Dex runs. Oh yeah, and tits on a bird too, as well, also?
Shot, close your eyes, it's inappropriate.
You monster, let me see those melons.
Now that is some dancing that's gonna get you laid, let me tell you about it.
Have I been eating too many raisins, or is that the California raisins?
Is that Charlie the Sun-Kissed Tuna? Mrs. Buttersworth? Whoa, wait, Mr. Clean is back?
This movie's just a giant product placement, isn't it? Wait a second, even on the front cover, the main characters are taking a back seat to the product placement.
Oh my God, this is despicable. Is the only reason they finished this movie because they had the rights to all these identifiable brand names? Was it for the payout?
Who would do something like that? That's despicable. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to blow off some steam with my Hot or Not app.
Where you can rate your friends, match up, and even chat.
Peanut Butter Gamer, is he hot or not? Yeah, that's hot. Jacques, whew, baby, that's hot. Dinosaur Bones? Well, I don't know about that. They've been in the ground for a while. Not.
Surely no one actually believed in this heaping molten mess, did they?
We gotta move.
It's not even really for kids. It's weirdly sexual and inappropriate in places it shouldn't even be.
I'm looking for a guy about your height.
It warms my heart the way you love my raisins, tough guy.
Even the Chiquita Banana Woman makes a passing comment about her boob milk.
Do I look like the Dairy Queen to you?
Well, that's just sick, lady. Well, don't bring that up here. There's kids in the audience. Hell, I'm an adult in the audience and I'm offended. Don't bring that trash here. Oh, mama. Look at this vixen here, voiced by Eva Longoria, whose dashing looks cause a stir in the club.
Foodfight!
We got one! We got one, ladies and gentlemen!
Finally free. What year is it?
Well, it's 2014. Who are you, though?
I've been trying to finish this movie for decades. You made it past the 20-minute mark? I can never get past the part where the squirrel shits out of his eyes.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Quick, hide! He'll be coming for us! Oh God, it's him! It's him! No! That's what he does! He raises your level of cleanliness to impossible levels of upkeep! Banana split! Let's blow this popsicle stand! Kumquats, I don't know, whatever!
Well, that just sort of happened to me. I mean, I didn't even participate in that.
It was cool though.
I don't know. I don't even know what's happening in the film at this point. What is going on? How am I supposed to react to any of this? So as the story goes on, and by story going on I mean becoming a fever dream, a line of evil products called Brand X are setting up shop in Marketropolis Market in an attempt to push out all the other Ikes from the supermarket. Bad things start to happen around town, including the deaths of some of the company mascots themselves. Realizing his town needs help, Dex finally snaps out of his depression and decides to look into things further.
I still got it.
Oh, but being filthy can be loads of fun. Don't you think so, Dex?
There are some stains you can never wash out.
For God's sakes, work on your aim.
I want to know how you rubbed out all those Ikes last night.
I want to know how you managed to raise $65 million with this script.
What a surprise. We find out Eva's character has been running with the Brand X boys the whole time, and all she wants is Dex to join her in her evil plot for supermarket domination. Also, she's a Nazis and a Star Wars.
What the f? They're building an entire army of robotic exobites.
What the hell is an exobite? The lore is rich in this world, let me tell you. They expect you to know the source material going in, all right? Study up. It's a matter of respect. So now it seems they've crossed from their supermarket world to the real world? I guess they could just mix and match this at will. Like I said, it's Fear and Loathing rules. There's no rules. Come on! What is it today, Black Friday? Oh, God! Oh, God!
Real world's horrible. Go back to the supermarket world.
Miss me?
I've made a huge mistake. Supermarket world's just as bad.
So we're like halfway through this movie. I don't even understand how there's another half, by the way. And the confused writers are still throwing new characters at us out of the blue, such as this bat pervert who has the hots for chocolate people.
Is that the enticing scent of rich, creamy chocolate? Are you chocolate? Are you made of chocolate? Really?
So we're gonna fast forward a bit here. There are plenty of twists and turns, let me tell you, but we eventually end up at the climactic showdown between the Brand X guys and the Ikes. And what it ends up being is a 35-minute long, seriously, 35-minute long sequence of a grand scale war between Brand X and the Ikes. Nay, not a war.
Food! Fight!
Oh, we're doing this again? Confetti saved up.
Literally, this just goes on and on and on and on. It's just the same shot over and over and over of people falling over and over and over.
But enough about me. Let's kill you.
He won't hit her. Not now, not never.
But I will.
Should I call this movie Catfight? Because she's a cat.
Oh, look at you!
Oh, I see. So the hot girl was actually ugly all along. Not just inside, but outside too. Well, that's a relief because now there's absolutely no hang-ups about hating her. Let's celebrate. Yeah! Ugly people never win. That's the moral of the story, guys. I guess some things you just never forget. Some scars never heal.
I don't even like you. When I take time to put you in a goddamn log, it's bullshit. I'm getting out of here.
Pokémon, a series dearly beloved by many. Few games can claim to harness its gravitational pull. This golden goose has sold millions upon millions of copies, spawned countless varieties of merchandise, and touched multiple generations of kids and adults alike. How many franchises do you know that bridge the generational gap?
Now I know what you're probably thinking to yourself. Why are you telling me this? I've played them all. I've been to them all. I've been to Kanto, Johto, Ancho, Habanero, Poblano, Antonio Banderas. I swung them all, sister. Swung with the best. But you ain't never seen the likes of this. That's right. With every big fish, there's a leech on the belly. Today, we're gonna have a look at the fascinating world of bootlegged Pokemon games. Now, these aren't games you can find in stores. They're games that made their way into circulation one way or another. None of them are licensed or acknowledged by Nintendo, and they're pretty damn hard to find.
First off, let's look at what's known as Pocket Monster. It's inferred that it was released in the year 2000 by DVS Electronics, because on the box art there are two small icons reading New Game and 2000. Hey, it's not empirical science, but what can I tell you? I'm a simple man.
It's strange. The label on my game says Pokemon Pikachu Edition, which first off isn't even the name of the game at hand, but if you peel back the label, there's another label that says Pikachu and it's spelled wrong? What is this game? Who made it and why?
Look at this Pikachu. Seriously, is it any wonder why he's so popular? Even when he's half-assed and bootlegged, he still melts my heart. I can feel the money loosening from my wallet already. He's all like, fuck you.
All right, I gotta leave, okay?
John, we just started. Come on, man.
Listen, there's a lot to see in this life. Not wasting it here.
Well, there's a shocker for you. 5 seconds into the game and it's already like... Look at his arms flailing. Even he's confused and terrified. Hey, I'm not blaming him. I would be too. Listen to this music. This is not level 1 music. Talk about putting the player on edge right away. This game is extremely hard to play. When Pikachu jumps, the entire game lags. Every single time. But then when you just want to go forward, he speeds up like a power walker with a New York minute to spare. So it's like you're constantly in a battle between game speeds. Makes the platforming real difficult right off the bat. Also, can we take a minute to talk about the fact that Pikachu has the face of a balding middle-aged man? Curly Howard, is that you? Did you come back? Did you come back from the ground mausoleum? Even more ridiculous than all that is his walk cycle. I mean, look at that thing! Coupled with the music, it's like a vaudeville act in here. Maybe it really is curly, because, I mean, they started as a vaudeville act back in 1925. But that's not that funny, though, because they're all dead. I thought they were supposed to be funny.
It's so bizarre seeing a Pokemon game actually playing on my SNES.
This game's like a breath of fresh air because it showcases all the Pokemon that we've come to know and love over the years. You can see Beedrill, Porygon, Monkey, Mario Dinosaur, Poop, Abomination. What is this? Is this what happens when illicit Pokemon breeding goes unchecked? I'm looking at this from every goddamn angle there is. I can't tell where it starts and where it ends. Well, it's got a pine cone for a body. It's wearing a fez. And it's got that one staring, unblinking eye that reminds you that this creature lives in never-ending, ceaseless agony. Oh, by the way, this game's pure bullshit. You can never see what's below you, so you always have to take leaps of faith that more often than not lead to your untimely demise. And it doesn't even matter how far you get. There's no checkpoint. So if you die, it's straight back to the beginning. When you drop back into the game after a death, that's you. That's an accurate representation of you saying, "No, don't put me back in, please!" The continue screen looks like a PSA for abused Pokemon. To me, it's as if he's laying there, wounded in the light, and a Pokeball rolls up to him, and Ash says, "Keep going, Pikachu, or it's back in the ball for you." No, I don't want it! God, oh, shit! So I finally beat the first level. Boss is a Snorlax. Pretty energetic for a Snorlax, wouldn't you say? So at the beginning of level 2, you just see Ash say, "It's hot?" Oh, he's coming. Any minute now. Oh, there he is. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, by "it's hot," he meant literally. It's a fire level. Thanks for looking out for me, Ash. I really appreciate it.
Oh, this is Scutson. What is that? Is that Branson? Is that tap dancing crab demon? Is that Nightmare? Is that true Nightmare?
Strangely enough, there's another SNES Pokemon game. It's a port of Pokemon Stadium for the N64, it looks like. The biggest difference being that there's a predetermined roster of 12 Pokemon. Don't those names just look strikingly familiar? Who could forget Spia, and Daggett, and Rafe? It is a fully fledged game, but there's not much to say about it. I'm just baffled that it exists at all. Next up is Pokemon Adventure on the Game Boy Color. Oh man, this one looks great! It looks like a game Nintendo actually could have made. Let's do this. I'm ready to go on this balloon-based adventure with Pikachu. What's happening? Nope! Shut it! Fuck!
Can't I just have a break? Can't I just have one break?
I'm not playing this up, okay? These were my actual first moments with the game. Complete confusion. You know, this game sets up a certain special scenario for you. It says, welcome to the game. That's the one thing you can see. Fuck you. This is clearly a platformer. Why is the first enemy unkillable? Is this just a way to condition me for the journey ahead? Something you might notice is that Pikachu jumps like Sonic. He's even got those super fast spinny feet when he runs, like in Sonic 2. Oh hey, and he even charges up in a ball, like Sonic the Hedgehog. Yep, that's Sonic. It's Sonic! It turns out that this is actually a hack of an existing hack for the Game Boy Color called Sonic Adventure 7. What happened to 3 through 6? Do you even realize what this means? Ladies and gentlemen, we are playing what could be the world's very first double hack.
Warning, John. You are in danger of reaching hack capacity.
Next one up's a bit weird. It's called Moemon.
This one's weird. I don't know what to say about it. It's Pokemon with little girls. I mean, it's very obvious that a lot of care and passion went into making this. I mean, you can actually tell which Pokemon is which by looking at those beautifully crafted sprites. But why? Do you realize that for this to happen, someone had to sit down, look at Pokemon and say, you know, this is great, but it needs more little girls. I'm gonna go downstairs to my basement now next to my little girl dungeon and program this game. Welcome to Planet Earth, ladies and gentlemen. The next two games I want to talk about are Pokemon Diamond and Jade. I guess someone beat Nintendo to the punch with Diamond there. But oh, this is not the Diamond version you're thinking of, because that would be a time machine. And I know you don't have any of those laying around. In this particular instance, we know Diamond is better than Jade, because Jade has a goat demon on the box. And look at it, just look at the eyes. I think there's feeling behind those eyes.
Feeling a bit of a chill. So I think I'm starting to maybe feel ghosts or something.
I just want to point out that at the beginning of this Pokemon game, there's an armadillo on a cell phone. I mean, presumably just trying to get reception in this forest, because let's face it, there's not much reception out there. Hold on a second. Talk about rocking out with your cock out. I bet you $50 that's the guy who made Moemon back there. That's Mr. Moemon. This game is taking something completely fantastical, the world of fantasy monsters, and bringing it down to the most mundane level. He's like, did you remember to pick up the baking soda? So this game has some weird fascination with cell phones. Yeah, totally gets me in the Pokemon spirit. Oh, it's decide time. It's time to make substantial decisions about my life and career. Oh, wait, never mind. Literally just wants me to tell the time. I bet at this point you're all saying to yourselves, John, what is this shit? Get it out of my face. This doesn't look anything like a Pokemon game. Well, if that's what you were thinking, you'd be right. It is in fact a Japanese cell phone themed RPG called Keitai Denju Telefang. Okay, now get this. It means mobile phone beast Telefang. God damn it, that was the word I wanted to know most. What in God's name is a Telefang? Listen, Japan, I know this was the early 2000s, but I just can't see a series about monsters talking on telephones ever catching on. Damn it, he's nothing. Yeah, you can say that again.
Now the next one's actually one of my favorite ones. It's called Pokemon Vietnamese Crystal. Yeah, that's actually what it's called.
That's racist.
Now you listen here, Pip Pip, a racist mind is a racist kind. Now you take that to sleep with you tonight, because I know I'm not going to change hearts and minds in a day. You don't give a man a peanut, expect him to have a farm the next day, but it's all right. It's all right. One day, we will all be equal on this earth. Until then, I'm going to give you a kiss, Muffin.
This game is exactly as advertised. It's Pokemon Crystal for Game Boy Color, but translated to Vietnamese and sold on the street as a bootleg. Oh, but that is not what sets this game apart from the rest. What makes this one so special is the bizarre translation. welcome. It's Elf's World? Elf's World? Oh man, this game's bringing the nostalgia right back. How could I forget the first time I ever met Professor Oak? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, how could I have been so rude? I meant to call him by his preferred name. Elf Monster. He literally demands that not just me, but everyone call him
Elf Monster. I couldn't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I'm sad that I lack the talent to make this shit up.
Elves here are called Monster. Well, that's good to know. He looks happy enough about it. They existed everywhere. Oh, that's terrible. What happened to them? They play friendly, help each other. There are many secrets inside to know these riddles.
Oh, philosophy-wise, he's up there with the greats. Aristotle, Plato, Confucius, meth head down my street that forgot how to speak English from too much meth.
Please check the time.
It was about 1:15. Why'd you want me to do that?
How many minutes? I don't know. There's about 60 of them in an hour. Are we talking days? Weeks? Years? Oh, okay. Looks like I gotta set the time. What af 3 hin time? Well, that's a fantastic question. I don't know myself. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, you don't gotta yell. I didn't know it meant so much to you. af 3h17 bad. Sleep too late.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna quit here. This game's starting to judge my lifestyle. I don't need that. I made it past age 18. I pay my bills. I pay my taxes. I'm gonna sleep late if I fucking want to. Fuck you.
Let's get back to the real games here. Pokemon 4-in-1 on the NES. That's just so weird to me. A Pokemon game on a console 10 years older than the original game. Who thought this was a good idea? Essentially, what we've got here is just a collection of minigames based around Pokemon, 3 of which apparently revolve around pica, the eating disorder which causes people to ingest inedible objects. And speaking of food, Pikachu himself looks like a fucking potato. Pika-click, Pika-slot, Pika-dance, and Pac-Man? That one is just called fucking Pac-Man. Okay, hold on. No, that is the only game that had a P in it to begin with. They could have just as easily called it Pika-Man, as all the others are themed with Pika, but no, they just left it Pac-Man. All right, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they didn't want the subtlety of their blatant theft to be lost on the masses. Pika-click is just a game where you match blocks. I don't know what's going on with this one. I don't even know if you can lose. Click, 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 fuck it, I don't give a shit. Pika-slot is stupid too. It's just a slot machine. Literally, it's just luck. Press the button and watch it go. The only feedback you get from this game is the win box on the right. Who would play this? Who would? Pac-Man. Oh, now this one's good. This one has some depth to it. Probably because it's Pac-Man. Literally, it's Pac-Man, and it changed the course of the gaming market when it came out because it's fucking Pac-Man. Pika-dance is great. Look at him go. Set to the song Butterfly by Smile DK. Where are these Pokemon going to? I think I want to head up there with them. Oh, not to mention, every single high score on this game is DDR, 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 didn't bother to hide it, DDR, didn't bother to hide it, Pac-Man, DDR, lose, 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 lose!
Well, my work's done here. I'm gonna go get a goddamn glass of bootleg milk, calm my goddamn nerves, feel like Geppetto in the goddamn Pinocchio musical.
Wait a second, isn't this that version of Pokemon where the Pokemon actually die instead of faint? And it had that version of Lavender Town that caused all those Japanese kids to get mysteriously ill. Oh, I should get rid of this. Well, maybe I'll just have one play.
Boobs.
Throughout history, mankind has faced challenges far and wide, building the Great Wall of China, combating worldwide plagues, and even escaping our own atmosphere to brave the perilous journey to the infinite.
But there are some challenges that were just never meant to be faced. Some peaks too monumental, some chasms too great. There's bravery, and then there's just plain stupidity. But mankind doesn't get anywhere by playing it smart. Some of us have to be the guinea pigs, do the work no one else wants to. And that's why I'm going where no man has ever gone before and come back to tell the tale.
Mission briefing. Subject, Takeshi Kitano, otherwise known as Beat Takeshi. Japanese film director, comedian, singer, actor, author, screenwriter, poet, painter. Okay, what wasn't this guy? And one-time video game designer.
Yeah, you hear that? One time, because one time was all he needed.
After that, the seafloor split open and swallowed the Caribbean. Earthquakes ravaged the west coast of America, and goblins were still really, really scary.
Ew, I like them. I like goblins. Ah!
Although being more comfortable with directing and acting, Beat Takeshi was never one to back down from a new art form. So when Taito Corporation asked him to lend his name to their new video game, instead of simply saying yes and taking the money, he chose to be directly involved with the creation of the game. He even starred in 2 Japanese commercials advertising the game. Perplexingly enough, both of these commercials were actually cryptic hints on how to complete difficult parts of the game.
And then, this. Like Aphrodite rising from the sea foam of Uranus' severed ball sack.
No, I'm serious. That's how it happened. Look it up. It's true. It's definitely true.
Takeshi Kitano cut from the balls of Taito and released this to the masses. This is universally referred to as one of the worst ranking and hardest video games of all time. And it's only known as Takeshi's Challenge. God help us all.
Fuck.
There it is. You're looking at the very same image 1,000 Japanese kids saw on Christmas morning 1986. Put your mind into theirs. Feel the pain. Feel the anger. And first off, I just want to say there's a password guard in front of this password screen here, and you can just punch him and get a game over before you even play the game.
Game over?
I think there has to be a game first for it to be over.
Maybe they're talking about the game of life.
The game opens up with you getting yelled at in your boss's office, literally. You don't even get fired. It's not concrete. You're just being reprimanded for your mediocrity. Oh yeah? You're gonna yell at me? Well, this is a video game. I can do what I want. Oh, Merry Christmas, Japan 1986. Oh my God. Why would I try to escape real life by playing a game that's more depressing than real life? Am I supposed to feel good by comparison? Well, at the very least, I can say this game was innovative for its time. It's open-ended and has heavy real-life themes, which most concurrent games had little of, if any. But perhaps it's a bit too open-ended. Where am I supposed to go? The bank? The culture club? Grilled Mormons? Whoa, what's going on? Okay, I didn't know it was all right to eat those guys. I better should check the Brobo. Make sure that's okay. Well, I already have no idea what to do, so I guess I'll do what I always do when I'm lost. Drink heavily, lots of drinks, way absolutely above the margin of necessary. Mom is scared. Huh, it's pitch black? Wait, where am I? Is this woman beating up on me? What's going on? My home.
Well, this explains quite a bit.
So you talk to your wife, and your options are food, a bath, let's go to bed, I want to travel, and I want a divorce. This is a video game from the 80s. Keep in mind, at this point, most games look like this, or this. They didn't usually have themes of domestic conflict in them, and they still don't, really. Let's give her the good old 1-2 divorce and see what happens. I mean, after all, she is violent. So you can pay alimony or punch.
Punch?
You know, whenever I find myself in this situation, I find that pay alimony works out far smoother in the long run. But there is no denying that a punch is a much more satisfying short-term solution. Also, I'd just like to point out that there is a licensed Nintendo game with domestic violence in it! You can literally murder your wife and children. Literally murder your children. I think I need to repeat that. Literally murder your children. If the walls could talk, they'd say really bad things about that guy.
Now this is the point where most people, like 99% of people, would do this. Out of this house! Out of this house! Spirits be gone from this house. But this isn't most people. This is JonTron. To take on this challenge, I have to think like a salaryman, dress like one, be one. Let's beat Takeshi at his own game, goddammit.
You are not gonna believe this. This game requires an insane amount of trial and error, more than any sane person would be expected to undertake. For starters, you're supposed to ignore your boss at the beginning of the game because you want to pick up the bonus he gives you later. So you go directly to the bank and close out your account to withdraw the 50,000 yen that are in there. Then you go to the local culture club and use the money to buy shamisen lessons? Yeah, it sounds random, right? But you're supposed to do this because you actually have to start the game out by divorcing your wife. And when you do that, you have to pay her alimony. And that means that 75% of the money that you're holding on to at that given moment will go to her. And you need the money later or else you'll get stuck. You won't be able to beat the game. So basically, you're trying to give your wife as little money as possible. Man, who said chivalry's dead? The next steps are entirely steps made of logic. Quit job. Take money out of the office plant. Learn to hang glide, all the while managing to dodge Yakuza toughs that are trying to beat the shit out of you as you moon jump past. And by the way, they're unavoidable. It doesn't matter how hard you try, unless you get lucky 10% of the time, they'll teleport to you and take a hit. Now, normally in a video game, this wouldn't be a problem, but for a majority of the time in this game, you can't replenish your hearts, and you only have 4, which is not a lot, trust me. It's like the Yakuza are just a tax, a toll. Every time you pass one, they take a part of you with them. The more you play the game, the more you run the meter. Better use your time wisely.
It's just an allegory. It's just an allegory of our inevitable demise. I'm slowly dying. I'm slowly dying just like him. Each obstacle makes an etching in my soul.
Now this may seem very cryptic and convoluted, but that's because you haven't heard the next part. You're then supposed to go to the pachinko parlor and buy 500 balls and lose them. Sir, you don't have enough balls. Okay, first off, rude. But secondly, yes, I fucking do. Because they won't go down. I keep winning balls. Yeah, the one time I want to lose at gambling, and I can't do it if I tried. Now, I don't know for sure what hell looks like, but I think it might be a bit like Takeshi's challenge.
This is ridiculous!
Shut up, you dick!
You're supposed to yell into the microphone on the second controller.
A bunch of Yakuza toughs fill into the parlor, and to beat this part, you have to knock out at least one of them, which is really hard because they all 3 pummel onto you really quickly and you die in seconds. Oh, and did I mention? Anytime you die in this game, you have to go to the beginning. And that means doing every single minute step all over again. And by the time you beat this game, you can write a strategy guide on it, because you know it front to back. After you scare off the Yakuza from the parlor, the owner gives you a bunch of balls, which you use to buy a shamisen. What even is that? Okay, it's that. That's what it is. I guess I'm familiar, I just didn't know the name. Now we're off to the karaoke bar to sing the same song 3 times in a row because Takeshi Kitano is an insane person. You actually have to sing into the microphone on the second controller, which is pretty innovative for its time, but it's incredibly difficult and precise. Once you've completed the songs, guess what happens? Guess what? A bunch of Yakuza storm into the bar, and you have to beat the shit out of all of them again, on the same hearts. Then, just in the nick of time, an old man comes in and gives you a map. And then you beat the shit out of him. It's not even an option, you have to do that. But when you look at the map, of course, it's blank. To reveal it, you have to let it soak in water and wait 5 minutes, but not more than 10, and then cry into the microphone, or bathe it in sunlight and let the controller sit for an hour. Arbitrary wait times. What do you know? It's an early MMO. Now that we've got our treasure map, I say it's off to the South Pacific. No, seriously, you head to the airport and board a plane for the South Pacific.
You know, this only just dawned on me right now, but do you realize that this is a Nintendo game in which you quit your job, divorce your wife, and go treasure hunting? 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, best game, best game.
When you get there, you get a gun. Well, getting the gun is kind of cool, I guess. It actually works. It's not just a bait and switch. Only now can you sleep at the hotel and regain your hearts. Oh my god, it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You know, for such a bad game, when I saw those 7 hearts, I was happy. I guess it just shows that life's all about perspective. Okay, this next part, I can't even stress enough.
This is one of the hardest parts in any video game I've ever played.
You have one shot at this flying segment, where you have to shoot a revolver abreast a hang glider at giant dive-bombing pigeons and UFOs. If you get hit once, you're dead.
Game over. And you know what that means?
Divorce your wife, sing the karaoke, question if it's ethical to eat Mormons, do the whole thing over again just to have another go at this hang gliding segment. It could take you 20, 30 times before you get this. And it wouldn't even be so bad if you could fully control the hang glider. But once you drop altitude, the only way you can go back up is to hit one of these gusts of wind, which you can accidentally shoot and destroy.
Never in my life have I said, God damn it, I shot the wind again, and meant it. And meant that.
Can you even fathom how hard this is? Was a human actually intended to be able to overcome this? After a while, it breaks you down. The only thing that keeps you going is the thought of what's coming next, the thought of winning. You can't let him beat you. It was designed to beat you. And you want to know how hard this game is? I started this review in 2012. Come on, I have to do this. I can't stop until I do this. Please, please. Oh my God. Oh my God, I made it. I did it. I got there. I got to the island. I'm finally here. I'm in the treasure cave. This is the final stretch. Of course, they wouldn't give you a break either. There's literally enemies oozing from every crack of this cave. Talk about having some PTSD. You're looking at this while having flashbacks, having to do the goddamn fucking pigeon section again. It's a non-stop barrage of scorpions, amoebas, pirates, skeletons, and flame balls. I swear to God, I don't even think you could beat this segment if there wasn't a built-in exploit to the game, which is if you pause the game and unpause it, all the enemies reset. And then, finally, you see it, just out of the corner of your eye. Not everyone is created equal. Not in a racist way, I'm talking more about willpower. Sorry if you thought that was a racist or sexist comment. Some are quicker to make an excuse than a commitment. But we live in a world where if you don't decide to be the very best, someone will step up and be happy to take your place. Today we've scaled a new peak, and you know what? View's pretty good from up here. Takeshi, I beat your challenge. To the victor go the spoils. What do I win? That's it. That's all it is. It says amazing, and it's just his face in the corner. After all that I just went through. Kitano-sama, 私はずっとあなたの大ファンです。バトルロワイヤルのあなたが本当に好きです。日本は現代ゲームの誕生の地です。なぜたけしの挑戦状を作ったのですか？なぜ私たちに対してこんなことをするのですか？私のことが嫌いなのですか？誰かにやらされたのですか？この封筒には封筒と便箋が同封されていますから、これを使って謝罪文を返信してくれても構いません。私は本気です。真面目にこの手紙をあなたに送ります。この手紙は私書箱宛てです。どうか返信をください。これはショーの一部ではありません。この撮影が終わったら本当に送付しに行きます。Toxic bad game, 2 out of 10. I see what you're talking about. She's right there on the water. But I don't know, man. I don't think we can make a game out of this. Nah, man. Plenty of games have boats that ain't sank yet. I mean, look at Call of Duty boats. Mediocre sales. But Sunk Boats DLC. Platinum seller. Oh, okay. So I suppose what you're telling me is that we should not make a game about the Titanic sinking. Yeah, believe it or not, someone out there actually decided it would be a good idea to make a game based off of the Titanic. You know, the great Titanic disaster of 1912 where 1,500 people met their fate with Davy Jones in one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. That's like making a game about the Pompeii volcano incident. Tap A quickly to not die as fast. For some of the games like this one, Titanic, Adventure Out of Time, I can kind of see where they were coming from at least. The Titanic was sort of a mysterious event, so they tapped into that and created a point-and-click adventure mystery game about it. It's pretty atmospheric, but it has that old, quirky 90s PC game vibe. You know the one. This one.
You came! After all this time.
Come on, lady, give me some space.
Come here.
I'm trying. I'm gonna get there. Oh, there he is.
Max Seidelman, Philadelphia, PA.
Jim Belushi, is that you? Did you travel back in time to hide from the fact that you were in Hoodwinked?
It is good to see you up and about. You've been in your cabin the whole voyage.
I bought the ticket. I'll do what I want. But that's not why we're here today. Now, that game may be silly, but what I have to show you right now defies explanation. An NES game based on Titanic, the movie. The movie. The movie! With any major commercial success, there's an inevitable influx of off-brand or unlicensed merchandise to capitalize on the hype. And apparently, James Cameron's 1997 film Titanic was no exception. The movie grossed over $2 billion worldwide, and the only movie to pass it up since is James Cameron's very own Avatar with $2.7 billion. I get it was popular, but a video game about Titanic the movie and an NES game. We have a Chinese company to thank for blessing us with this game, specifically Shenzhen Nanjing, true prophets of our time. Titanic came out in 1997. I mean, the N64 and the PS1 were already out. Who was this meant to be marketed to? No, really, what, moms? Kids? Anyone? Iceberg fans? Anyone at all? Would you buy that? None of y'all wouldn't buy that. You're not fucking stupid. Oh, would you just listen to that? Majesty. Celine Dion would be so proud if she was still with us. You can pick from Rose or Jack. But with my thorough understanding of the film, I'm gonna say that Rose is probably the better option. Hey, but what can I say? I've always been a fan of Certain Doom. Let's go with Jack. For some reason, Jack's name has like a blood splatter on it. Is that supposed to be symbolic? Good God, China. All about symbols. Couldn't even make the alphabet. Do not give up. Do not be discouraged. You will be able to get out of here. It's not even poetic. It's just like they're on opposite balconies yelling practical advice to each other. Now, I gotta say, they knew what they were doing with this one. Starting us off right in everyone's favorite scene, next to the sex car. Yeah, so far so good. I haven't even touched a controller yet. This is just what he does when you stand still. Wipes head, spits, turns around, repeat. All right, this is fantastic. Oh, wow, okay. This game barely has any controls, apparently. I don't even understand how to move it. I bet you controlling the robot on Mars right now would be easier than this. And to do that, you have to send a goddamn signal off the sun into the robot and back to Earth. I bet there'd be less input lag. What did I expect? You're just trying to get from one end of the map to the other while dodging rats and ghost barrels. Just another day on the Titanic, folks. I can't quite get on the crate here. God! Okay, died to a rat. Probably should have just waited to die the cool way, Jack, all right? It's coming in like 20 minutes. You blew it on a rat. You blew it on a fucking rat. You can't even attack, or if you can, I don't know how. But they had to stay true to the film, didn't they? I mean, can you blame them? This is a story about love, not violence. I'm low on hearts. I better pick one up so the rat doesn't get me again. Oh, so hearts equals lifesaver? Then what equals heart? I can't even begin to wrap my head around that. I have no idea how to replenish health, and I don't even think you can. The next level is the hull of the boat or something. Wow, I can't get past this part. Where do you go? Seriously. There's spikes on the floor, and there's no way around that I can see. This sucks. Oh my God! There she goes. I have never experienced a continue screen that made me feel that guilty. I mean, it's my fault that happened. I did the Titanic. Also, I just want to point out that the two choices we're given here are continue and start. Guys, stop. You're giving me too many options. I'm only one man here. Playing with Rose is hilarious, though. She actually picks up her dress to jump. Hey, game journalists, look at that. They're not sexualizing your women for once. Isn't it all you hoped for? So thank God that's over. I mean, it's over, right? There's not more, right? I mean, surely there weren't two companies crazy enough to do something like this. Right? Everyone at home? Are you sitting? I mean, probably weird if you were standing watching this. I mean, what do you got some sort of standing desk? Think you're better than me, don't you?
Now, there was one more company that made a game based off this Titanic movie craze, and it's not really possible to find it as a whole game, or at least I couldn't. It comes on this cartridge called the Super New Year 15-in-1 cart. Accurate name!
Oh, let me tell you, this game's expertly programmed. When you boot this game up, you're presented with a random selection screen that's sometimes in Chinese, sometimes in English, and sometimes without the full game list. If you're lucky and you get the right screen with all the games on it, you won't even know where to find the game because for some reason it's been split up into 2 pieces. If you want to play as Jack, it's called Hacker, and if you want to play as Rose, it's called Heroine. But why though? Titanic. I would play any game on earth. Yes, I would play any game on earth. I would play any game on earth, but I won't play that. Oh my God, what is that?
I bet you thought that was a typo, huh? The name of the episode? Hey guys, look! John made a mistake on the internet! I bet there's a bunch of comments down there already about it, but I'll tell you what. I wish that was a typo, because no one wants something like this for mankind. The fact that this exists means we already lost.
Why bother changing the name if you're just going to steal the likenesses of the 2 main characters anyways? Oh, let me tell you, it's a good thing they didn't misspell Leonardo DiCaprio's face or we would have really had a problem. All right, let's begin. In 1912, there is a noble American girl, Rose. She tried to get away from her arranged married, which is forced by her mother. At the same time, she met Jack, who was the young man on Titanic. Since Rose made a friend with Jack, he lighted on her life.
Yeah, based on that car scene from the movie, I think he might have lighted on a couple of her other things too.
They were also fall in love with each other. It made up a very touching and tragic love story. This is mostly just tragic. Oh, hey, Jack! I know the ship's sinking, but we gotta keep our cool here. You wanna add to the list of casualties? I don't think it was the iceberg that killed all those people. I think it was Jack.
Oh, the first thing when I saw the movie, the first thing I said out the theater, I interrupted the whole group, I said, "Where's the fighting?"
Well, to my surprise, this game actually controls well. The fighting is tight and responsive. It's pretty satisfying to punch dudes. You can finally punch the rats this time around, that's good. Is he reading a newspaper? Oh, he's drawing. Get it? 'Cause he draws in the movie? Remember? This is definitely accurate to the movie. Remember? Excuse me, Titanic management, I think you may have a well-endowed man standing in one of your grandfather clocks. I just thought I'd warn you. Oh, the chef's fighting! Oh, the chef's mad. I'll tell you what, that's bad. Chefs are natural pacifists. You piss a chef off, you've done something wrong. Oh, shit, sorry about that. I didn't see you standing there.
What can I say? Tensions were high.
In most games that involve burly men destroying everything, a health power-up would consist of something like a turkey leg or a roast chicken. But in this game, you pick up lobster and wine.
The bougiest of beat-em-ups.
Eventually, you get to fight a boss that's essentially if Mr. T was infused with Donatello from the Ninja Turtles. Now that's a pretty dangerous combo right there. All right, we're on the next level. No, all right, okay, hold the phone. Rats? Understandable. Bats? A bit weird, but I guess I can see. But cobras? Unless this ship was headed to a snake charming convention, this is absolutely unreasonable. Hey, okay, it's no wonder the ship went down between Jack beating up every capable person running it and fucking goddamn cobras everywhere. I can hear the captain right now. Yes, I'm looking out for icebergs, but currently I'm fending off a nest of cobras and a very aggressive man from Wisconsin. Also, I love when you punch the cobras, they react like they didn't even see it coming. They're just like, whoa, I'm out, that was a bad one. Okay. The lifesavers try to kill you in this game. I'm pretty sure this is the literal opposite of what a lifesaver is named for and supposed to do. How did both of these games fail to use lifesavers as some sort of appropriate object? If you're asking me, that is proof of a grand deity right there, or maybe the proof of the lack of one. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember the part where Jack fights Herman Munster on top of a smaller ship on top of the Titanic. That was the best part. I don't even know what's this guy's problem. He attacks you by firing a gun angrily and thrusting his dick at you. I don't know, we're in international waters. I guess anything goes. Once you beat this guy, he's like, "You have bested me. Here is the deed proving so."
Man, 1910 times were weird.
This time around, we're playing as Rose, who's a geisha ninja, apparently. Oh yeah, come on, get him! Get him, Rose! You're an independent woman!
Can't forget the flying eggplants. Man, 1910 times were scary.
All right, finally, beat him. See you later, Herman Munster, again for some reason.
Every night in my dreams, I see you. I feel you.
It's beautiful. It was the most beautiful love story I've ever seen. When we have kids, we're sitting out on a beautiful summer's night. I'm gonna look you in the eyes, Rose. I'm gonna be like, remember when you beat up that fat guy who was trying to kill you with a shotgun and knocked Herman Munster off the Titanic a couple times? I'm glad we made it through that. I love you.
You know what? I think you're right. On second thought, I don't think it's gonna work. But I got one for you better. Schindler's List HD Remix.
Between the time of the Space Invaders and the dawn of the land of Hyrule, there was an age undreamed of. And unto this, JonTron, destined to play the games that no one else wants to. It is I, the guy that saw some of this and heard the rest through hearsay, who alone can tell thee of his saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
JonTron, what is best in life?
To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of the women.
Wow, I was gonna say a day at the beach, but what did you say? Something about maiming? Jesus Christ.
Conan, the Barbarian, originally portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Guy doesn't take shit from no one. You kill his entire family, he comes back 20 years later and beheads you in front of your entire snake cult, and becomes the governor of the state of California. That's fucking metal as fuck, dude. Let's hope he spared his games of the same gory fate. Let's have a look at some of the older titles first, like Conan, Hall of Volta on the Commodore 64. This should have everything I could possibly ask for in a game like this. Swordplay, ceaseless adventure. What better place to experience it than here, in the basement? The birthplace of fantasy.
Well, that's a bit of a tonal shift, but this is from the 80s, so I'll let it slide. Conan, presented by a bunch of white guys named Eric. Sounds about right.
Hall of Volta, by the way, not a real place. I checked.
Before the game starts, it shows you a cast of characters. As you can see here, we have Conan and Volta. Yeah, well, I'm glad, because otherwise the title of this game would be very misleading. Oh, look, an avian ally. Now this is my kind of game right here. Very close to home.
Jacques, come here, you gotta see this.
Oh no, I think I left him upstairs. I turned off his alarm, right?
Hey John, it's me. I brought your life-saving medicine. Kill, 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 kill.
Oh, it's not lasers. Oh, am I dying of lasers?
That's probably nothing. We got an object list too. Locked door. Not so much an object as it is an idea of objects working in tandem. Extra sword? Can there be an extra sword if there's just no sword at all here? This game is pretty much like every Commodore 64 game. Primitive and clunky. Whoa, hold on. Boomerang sword? Was that boomerang sword? Well, that sets it apart. That's a whole different class of epic. The aim of the game is to traverse the stage and get to this little object up here. What do you think this thing is? I don't know. Do you know? All I know is I want to get to it.
In that way, I suppose it has a very strange power over me. So trivial yet so alluring. Look like a goddamned piece of sharp cheddar. I want it so bad.
It's not bad for a C64 game, but goddamn if it isn't hard as Conan's pecs. I have to get past this bad enemy, but he's just so hard to pin down. Come on, get down already, come on. Well, it's a good thing they don't just let me die in peace or anything. I fucking disintegrate and it tells me my struggles were in vain.
Not just this struggle. All my struggles. You know, some of us do this for enjoyment, all right? This is our escape.
Who wrote this game, Nietzsche? Every time you die, it gives you one of these day-brightening tidbits. A watery barrier. Oh yeah, I can see that. You know, you could have told me that a second ago. You beat a heated retreat?
And this game I shall not complete! Let's take a look next at Conan the Cimmerian for the MS-DOS.
Yes! 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 Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm here for. Decapitations and barbarism. Okay, all right. Not so much here for the long scrolls with flesh-colored ink. But hey, we got 1 out of 2. We're doing all right. Excuse me, is this Conan or is this SimCity?
Oh, it's 2 out of 3. We're in the black.
Oh, good morning, madame. You are looking full and robust today. You are blossoming like the most beautiful flower in all of Samaria. Oh yeah, one more thing. Your tits are fucking fantastic. Oh my god, where did that come from? Conan's all like, was that a lightning mage? Did a lightning mage just zap my wife? This game's one of those old adventure RPG types. Click around on a map, visit towns in various locations, talk to the local populace, and get immersed in the world. One of my favorite things about this kind of game is the open-ended gameplay. It's so different from a book or a film because you really get to strike out and make your own story. I think Conan's feeling real bad today. Attack! Conan decides not to attack the merchant.
Conan also decided to file his taxes quarterly to avoid overages and remain cash solvent.
What is this? Conan decided not to attack the merchant. Get out of here! I'm Conan! I'm a barbarian! It's in the title! It's in the title! I get to decide who gets attacked and who gets conversed with, alright? Let me tell you how you know you're playing a Conan game. They spent more time drawing his pecs than his face. Seriously, he's got no face. Ah, my first fight, finally! Time to put the B in Barbarian, you know what I'm saying? Not while under attack. When exactly is a better time to click the enemy with my sword than when he's attacking me? Forgive my ignorance, but I wasn't aware there was a better time. Oh, of course. Sword is for rug. Sword is not for enemy. It is for rug.
No one in this world can you trust, Conan. Not men, not women, not beasts. But this you can trust. But only for rugs. Only for rugs and shit, seriously.
Oh, I found my favorite room. It's the one where you can't fucking see. Well, at least someone had the decency to stick a chimera down here with me, honestly. What do I do? Use sword. This weapon is already in use.
I can guarantee you with 100% certainty, this item is not already in use.
All right, how about swing, chop? Conan does not know that attack. God damn it. Listen to me, my dementia-riddled grandmother knows that attack. It's like 80% gravity. Gravity does most of the job. I'm stuck. I'm goddamn stuck. Can't move. I can't attack people. I can't use my sword. All I can do is touch rug and walk around and get fucking stuck. Oh, look at that leprous peasant. Well, she's moving right along. She's having more fun than me in this fucking game.
All right, last on the list. Conan for NES. Please let this version be good. How could they fuck this one up? It's Conan for the NES.
So this game's purpose is very simple. You go around kicking skeletons in the dick. The sad thing is that actually makes more sense than the controls in this game. So get this, you're going around and you realize these fists won't be enough. So you gotta go around picking up weapons that fall out of the enemies, which are constantly respawning, by the way. What's this? You can't walk over the weapon to pick it up? A doesn't work. B doesn't work. How do you pick up the item? Oh, of course, it's A and down. And by that I mean A slightly before you push down. Because if you accidentally push down first, you'll jump into whatever hellfire pit's in front of you. Because did I mention that down also fucking long jumps?
Who did it? Why'd they do it? Are they still alive? Can I find them? We're gonna go find them.
I can't even begin to fathom why they would make down jump when up also jumps. Especially in a game when you need to push down very quickly in a storm of never-ending butt-feasting gremlin skeletons to get the item that only falls from the teleporting purple Satan demon that only spawns when you cut down the one random skeleton hanging from the ceiling that is the only item that can kill the boss that kills you in one hit unless you have that item, and you would never know it unless you read it on the internet that doesn't exist when this game came out!
Hallelujah! Holy shit!
And the Turns out this isn't even really a Conan game. It's another game from the C64 called Myth, History in the Making, which is notable for its sweet musics. Hey guys, I think you gotta spread the music out a bit. But you'll be glad to know that this game sticks with the main motif that Conan does. Punching skeletons in the dick. Why would they bother porting a C64 game to the NES? NES was capable of so much more. I think the saddest thing here is that the Commodore version is so much better.
I have never prayed to you before. I do not have the tongue for it. No one will remember, not even you, what games were played, what systems they were on, which ones were written by two Erics. All that matters is that one man played many, many terrible Conan games. So grant me one request. Grant me one good game. And if you do not listen, well, come on, man, it's frickin' rude. And to hell with you. Yeah, that's one. Yeah!
Be gone, you spawn of hell!
Yeah, take it, take it.
Die, you cur!
Finally, finally. There's a jar of horseradish up there. I don't know what it is. This is scary.
If you want to stay up to date on JonTron, don't forget to follow my official Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you haven't seen all my videos, you can click these annotations to see some of the old ones. Don't forget to stop by normalboots.com.